Hi, I'm Alex.
Oh boy. And I'm Amelia with Cotter Teen Press, and we are here with.
Aiden intro.
All right. So, what started it all? What got you into this?
Right. I started playing guitar when I was like 14, and kind of just became obsessed with it right away and played every day for many years. And then in like 2019, I just like saw a video of Steve Lacy making music on his phone and got the gear that he was using and started doing it myself. And soon enough, I just kind of started putting out music, and it's been it's been like 3 years since then. So yeah.
Speaking of like starting music, can you tell us about one or some of your songs? Just like the initial inspiration and to like its current form.
Yeah, for sure. Let's think here. So the first song I put out was, it's called June, and it's kind of like a Dayglow inspired, like kind of indie pop song, and it's the first song I ever wrote, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of like made this little loop that I liked and started humming along to it, and it's a pretty corny song, to be honest with you. It's just like a little like high school love song, I guess. And just kind of started putting words down and learning more about how like songs work by just studying other musicians that I like and certain song structures and stuff. Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for people who are just getting into like writing music from both like the lyrics and the actual instrumentals of it? You said just like listening to others, finding inspiration. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. There's like a Ed Sheeran quote. I'm not a huge Ed Sheeran fan, but he's good. There's an Ed Sheeran quote that I heard years ago that I just like keep constantly reminding myself. And he kind of used the metaphor of like when you turn on an old sink that hasn't been used in a while, like all the water that first comes out is like super like muddy and gross and you can't drink it. And then after a while, the clean water starts coming out. That's kind of what songwriting is like. So like oftentimes, the first 10 songs you write or whatever, they're just like horrible. And you just like have to do that. You have to write really bad songs. And then the good ones come out every once in a while. It's like baseball. If you're batting like 200-300, you're doing fine.
So, what's your experience with like Midwest Music Fest? Like, did you go here in the past, or like just hear about it recently, or what?
Well, I was born in La Crosse, and I lived in a town called Rolling Stone for the first 5 years of my life. So, a lot of my family still lives in the Winona area, so I've been coming here kind of my whole life. And I first came to Midwest Music Fest 2021, I think. It was like pouring rain the whole weekend, and there's like all these cancellations and stuff. I don't know if you guys remember, but so kind of ever since that year, I was like, man, it'd be so cool to go back to Winona and like play that festival. And most of what I do is in Minneapolis, and there's a lot of cool Minneapolis acts here. So it's kind of just like a big like reunion of a bunch of local musicians that I've been wanting to meet and hang out with and see play. So yeah.
What are your like thoughts on like the music scene up in Minneapolis?
I think it's great, honestly. I went to college in Duluth for a year and a half because I thought that's where like the hoppin' scene was, because like Dylan and Trampled by Turtles and whatever. And then when I got up there, I was like, dang, I left the scene. I gotta go back down. So I transferred to U of M Twin Cities, and within like 6 months of living on campus, I was like going to these house shows every week, like two shows a weekend, and like there's countless bands, and like everyone's super friendly. And like if you're just starting to get into it, you just like literally go to a house show and like start talking to people, and they're like, yeah, like we'll get you on the next bill. Like they don't even need to meet you or even like hear any of your music. It's just like everyone's ready to like help the next band get going. It's a super cool scene over there.
So what would you say your current music is like? Like what genre and style is it, and like where do you get those inspirations?
Yeah. I would say like my earlier music for sure is kind of like an indie pop, like indie folk sort of thing, with like a lot of kind of jazz elements in there. I studied jazz guitar for a while, so a lot of the kind of like progressions and stuff I use comes from jazz. But I've been leaning into more of like I don't know, kind of like a 70s like soft rock thing. Trying to think of some examples. I don't know. I've been listening to like a lot of Doobie Brothers and like Hall and Oates and Steely Dan all the time, and kind of like that softer like acoustic side of the like yacht rock era is kind of where I'm headed, I think.
Yeah.
I don't believe I have anything else. No.
All right. Yeah, I guess don't really have any more questions. Thank you for coming here.